Welcome to Home in Queanbeyan. We provide long-term supported accommodation for 20 men and women with chronic mental illness. Our vision is to love people back into life. You may not be aware, but one of the most damaging side effects of mental illness is loneliness. In fact, you could even say that mental illness is the only disease that leads to homelessness. That's why having a place to call home is so important. There's nothing like feeling safe, loved and secure. People need people. Before taking you on a tour of my home, our home, I should like to introduce myself. My name is Benny Day. I was just 8 weeks old then, had not long moved into home. It wasn't so easy at first because I had to leave my 2 sisters and 2 brothers behind. That's them, B1, B2, B3 and B5. Mum never liked the name B4. We used to get up to all sorts of mischief, especially me and B5. He was the wild one of the bunch. We used to call him Behave because he was always getting into trouble. Like that time he spilt Mum's black hair dye all over himself. Gosh, I missed them all at first. Wondered if I'd ever find a place to call home again. After all, we dogs are pack animals, you know. Like people, we need each other. Thankfully, it didn't take too long for me to find my place and feel right at home. I really like being here. I feel safe and cared for. There's nothing like being loved. Please allow personal indulgence. I'd like to let you know that I too have a chronic illness, type 2 diabetes. Well, over the past 3 years, I've gradually lost my sight. My eyes simply dried out. Thank God for my nose. I call it my third eye. So, like my fellow friends and residents here at home, medications have become a significant part of my life as well. I receive 2 needles a day, and in the back of my neck if you don't mind, while eye drops are a constant as well. It took a long time to get my insulin levels right. At first they were way too high and I just ate and ate. Then they were way too low and I drank and drank and peed. I was as crook as a dog. When you're sick like that, some people kind of write you off. I once heard a vet say to my carers that they might like to consider putting me down. Felt like barking back at him, "Look, I'm not an illness that happens to be a dog. I'm a dog who happens to have an illness. I've still got plenty to offer, don't you worry." This happens to human beings as well. Too easily written off as unproductive, as too sick to be of use. Home wants to change this kind of thinking. Okay, time for that tour. This is the courtyard. I love it here. It's so calming and peaceful. This is where I live. It's one of our 20 self-contained units. That's my bed, a king-size double. I need my space. And this is my kitty litter. Some prefer to call it a courtyard. This is home's dining area where we do lots of socialising and celebrating of people's lives. We even have a specially built commercial kitchen, and that's where you'll find some of our amazing volunteers. They're not only good cooks, but good friends as well. So what makes home a loving place? I put this question to Home's manager Anne Pratt.
That's not so easy to answer. Really, it's the simple, ordinary things like rubbing ointment into people's feet, knowing when a hug is needed, and taking them to appointments, ensuring that their physical health is attended to as well. And just sitting and listening. When you know and love someone, you can always tell a lot by just looking into their eyes. This can help nip a crisis in the bud. We want to make sure people thrive rather than just survive. Take our youngest resident, Murray, for instance.
I'm a lot more settled now. I've got more to do and I'm a lot happier.
If you asked me what a good motto for home in Queanbeyan would be, I'd simply say, love, love, love. Everything else is blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I'll tell my funniest joke.
Yeah.
There was this man and woman and they were at a disco and the woman was as ugly as a hat full of nails and she went up to this bloke and she said, "What would you like me to take off first?" He said, "My glasses." My glasses.